right. Well, we have Akbar Shareef with us, who is from CareSource. When did CareSource become a customer of Edifecs?
So we started back in 2015 with our biggest plan, Ohio, Medicaid, and MyCare, and then Kentucky, where we were supporting Kentucky back then. And 2015 with the Encounters Management tool, and then we expanded to Smart Trading in 2021 and Enrollment platform in 2022.
Okay. So you have 3 bucketed solutions with us today. Can you tell me a little bit about the different lines of businesses that CareSource?
Yeah. So CareSource covers 2 million lives across 4 Medicaid, 5 Medicaid, 4 DSNP, and then 6 marketplace ACA lines of business. Our majority of the membership comes from managed Medicaid, managed care, which is like 86%, and then marketplace is the next in, which is at about 12%, and then 2% from dual plans. Okay. And then for 2025, we'll be expanding into 2 more marketplace products and 1 Medicaid.
Okay. The Encounter Management solution was already implemented when you joined CareSource. Right. And then you moved forward with Smart Trading and Enrollment. What was the impetus for moving to those solutions?
So when I joined CareSource, obviously, take a step back. Encounters in many of the organizations is looked as a reporting tool because by then claims is adjudicated. So all people believe that the Encounter is more of like taking the adjudicated claims data and submitting to state and federal agencies. But what CareSource believes is Encounters is one of the revenue generators, especially with respect to Medicare and ACA, where most of your revenue comes from the risk process. So we built industry-leading KPIs, key performance indicators in Encounters, and we don't loosely use the word industry-leading. We have a 99.8% completion rate across all our products, and 99.9% timeliness rate, and 99.5% first pass accuracy. And those numbers, coupled with our auto adjudication rate, which is for medical lines of business, 98%, which is industry-leading by in itself, because like most of the organizations, you see their auto adjudication rate hovering between 85 to 90%. So, and you come to a point, right? So we saw what Edifecs brings to the table on the Encounters Management tool, and when Edifecs leadership introduced that they are venturing into Smart Trading, we wanted to partner with them, and we saw the expertise they bring in the Encounters Management tool, and EDI is sort of like front-end gateway for the Encounters. So we thought we also had a struggle with our legacy platform, Sybase and TriZetto gateway. So we thought like it was the right opportunity to invest in Edifecs Smart Trading.
And you then also tacked on Enrollment that around the same time?
Yeah, so Edifecs Smart Trading and Enrollment, the both we wanted to implement simultaneously. And we were at that time going live in a new market. So we thought like we'll first go with the Smart Trading platform because that was the key. And then we had a relatively stable platform for Enrollment. So we wanted to focus on getting the Smart Trading right. Because like obviously like when you implement a new product, like you will have a 3 to 6 months learning curve where like you are trying to fit your tool within to your organization. There is a lot of customization that needs to be accounted for. So we wanted to space that out. So I mean we implemented Smart Trading in Q4 2021 and Enrollment in Q1 2022. So now that's on.
Yeah. How did implementation go?
Implementation. So the way I see it. It has to be perfectly balanced, right? Like you have a customer have to clearly explain what needs to, what they're trying to implement, and the Edifecs will understand and then will execute on it. So there were some learning opportunities on both. But like now that we look back, those growing pains were worthy. Like we have effectively minimized on ENR side. We have effectively minimized our Ohio full enrollment processing file from 16 hours to 3 to 4 hours. That's a significant improvement.
Yeah.
And then the some of the functionalities within the enrollment tool, which is a workflow categorization, error workflow, that's really good. And then business rules customization. The one thing that I really like about Edifecs products in general are its ability to customize based on the user needs. So we have seen that on the Encounter side, and CareSource believes in operational excellence. Right? Like once you have operational excellence, that translate into lower cost of admin, and then it also improves the revenue, which in turn you can invest back into members, providers, and communities we serve. So we have been the amount of we have built industry-leading operational excellence, like I pointed out in the auto adjudication rate, first pass accuracy, and encounter submission. And on the marketplace side, we have about close to 99.9% HCC completion rate.
Yeah.
And it's thanks to both Edifecs and a great partnership between CareSource and Edifecs. The Edifecs staff, the service team, they are with us through the night, especially with when we approach the submission deadlines in May. They don't bat an eye in working through each and every single HCC, and the perfect partnership between Edifecs and CareSource made us industry-leading healthcare organization.
I love that. Well, and you talked about you've had a lot of success, right, with especially the encounters management solution. I assume like a lot of that is attributed to you and your organization as well, and how you've approached it and implemented it. Do you want to go into any more detail about the success that you've experienced and how you got there?
Sure. So I think the biggest, secret sauce, if you can say it, is your CEO, Chief Operating Officer, and then your IC down to the IC, all are aligned to a common goal.
Yeah.
And coupled with the partnership with the industry-leading tool, encounters management tool. So what we were able to build is we wanted to maximize every single revenue opportunity. Most of the plans, I attended Edifecs conference back in 2019 when I started in CareSource. So I saw one of the plans mentioning 95% timeliness rate. Then I called my VP back then, now SVP, Zach Davidi, said we kind of laughed about it, saying like that's nowhere industry leading, right? So we were, if we see 95% timeliness rate, that's red alarms. So there's a red flag for us, and we wanted to make sure like every single claim is submitted as an encounter to state. So state and CMS have visibility as to what kind of care was provided to the member. We want to make sure like every single diagnosis code, every single service that was provided to a member is reflected and is accounted for in the risk adjustment process. That brings revenue back. And CareSource being non-profit organization, it really helps us putting the money back into member provider community, right? So we don't have being non-profit, like we everything that we save gets invested back into the community, right? We also looked into delivery kick payment revenue. That's one area that not many of the organizations pay attention to, and we maximize the revenue in that aspect, and we make sure both Edifecs and CareSource are aligned with our future growth and the target, that goal we have in mind of becoming the industry-leading managed care organization in partnership with the Edifecs. And recently there was a health plan that we have acquired, and they were amazed looking at our performance, and they reached out like which tool we use. We got in touch with Edifecs project team and then product team, and they were really amazed as to how this product has helped CareSource be the leading, industry leading encounters.
Yeah, you mentioned a few times about the industry leading acceptance rates. Do you know what the acceptance rates were before the encounter management solution?
So I
know that must have been before your time, but
before my time, as I said, like the approach was to encounters was treated as a reporting tool rather than a revenue stream. So we had about $600 to $700 million in backlog, and we managed to turn that around with a span of 2 years. So one to 1.5 years. So for the past 3 years, we have been in steady state, and I would say if you're not aligned to the vision, any great tool will become unuseful, right? So we needed to align with Edifecs to say this is what our approach is. Like, we don't want to settle for 95%, 98%. We want to push the envelope to the last encounter, to the last claim. So going from 80 to 90, 95% is easier. You have a low-hanging fruit. You'll be able to, you will fix one issue. You'll be able to increase your KPI by 5-10%. But getting down to the last encounter and putting your effort to get that submitted and accepted is really really tremendous achievement. And what we do is, like, we do proof of concepts with Edifecs. We whenever state implement an edit, we run it through our proof of concept through Edifecs X Engine, and we'll see like whether that encounter will get rejected or accepted. We go back to the states, all our Medicaid states. Like, we work with them in correcting those rejections that they turned on, edits that they turned on, and we were able to collaborate with every single state that we are in and help them understand the differences, the disconnect between claims rules, right, versus encounter submission rules. So there's a big disconnect, and helping state understand that, like, hey, you're asking providers to build a claim in a certain way, whereas you're asking health plans to submit encounters in a certain way.
Right.
So closing that gap, working with Edifecs and doing proof of concept, customizing the tool for CareSource needs, that has been tremendous. And I have worked in different different types of companies, like a small scale, medium, single state plan in Gateway Health in Pittsburgh, WellCare Health Plans, National Prayer, and then CareSource, national presence in multiple states. And I have used a home-built solution for encounters. I have used a TPA, third-party administrator, in DST. And by far, Edifecs has been the stable platform and the flexibility it brings to the table, and the along with the skill set of the staff that you guys hire is very appreciated. It's tremendous work. I think, like, we have stuck with the same staff that we hired in 2019. So for the past 5 years, we interact with the same team on the Edifecs side, service support team. So and it has been a great partnership.
Love that. Do you know what the industry average is for acceptance rates?
Yeah. So we'll for example, we'll pick Georgia Medicaid. We are not in Florida, so we can't compare Florida. So this next biggest state is Georgia and Ohio. And Georgia does publish all kind of a scorecard for all its managed care organizations through a fiscal agent called mayors and staffers. So what they do is they compare CDJ to encounters, financials to encounter submission rate, and they do it for a period of 21 to 24 months.
Okay.
So you have to be consistently performing well. And I know for the reports haven't been refreshed for the past 10 months or so. The last report that they have published, CareSource had a completion rate and completion rate against the CDJ, right? Because like you don't have any wiggle room. CDJ comes from finance and encounters through us, right? So we were at 99.84%, and the other two plans in the Georgia space were at 99.48. Okay. So that's 0.36%. It's really critical when you say 0.36%, the context. When you improve 0.36%, when you are at 80%, it's easier. Right. But when you are down to the last encounter, 10 encounters, 100 encounters, working with the providers to make sure they understand what is the criticality of these claims. Yeah. So that's very.
Yeah. It does feel like a small difference, right? But there must be some sort of bigger business impact. Like, right. What is the impact in that difference?
So if you look at it, the CDJ to encounters closure, state uses encounters for rate setting exercise, and that 3%, 4% variance could be tens of millions of dollars. So you're losing the tens of millions of dollars in rate setting process. Yeah. So when you get closer to 99.9, 99.8, so that small margin, depending on how big the plan is, could have impact up to the tunes of tens of millions of dollars.
Oh, wow. I wouldn't have guessed that small variation would have that big of an impact or financial impact. So that's really cool.
And the rate setting is mainly driven by how successful you are in submitting your encounters. Yeah. And if you don't have great numbers in encounters, you won't have your risk adjustment process, rate setting exercise, and then delivery kick payments revenue. So all these dollars we bring back into the organization and we reinvest into our members, providers, and community.
I love that. Is there anything else you want to share?
Okay. No, I think I have recommended Edifecs to every single health plan colleagues who have reached out, or peers who have reached out. And I see you guys have best product in encounters management. I know smart trading is out there too, and in enrollment. I'm biased towards encounters management because in my 16 years in healthcare industry, encounters has been the central theme, and I'm more close to it. And EDI came under my purview for the past 2.5-3 years, and the future innovations that Edifecs has lined up is really amazing, and I'm really looking forward to how AI enhancements that you guys are bringing, and the cloud data analytics is really exciting. Definitely, we do see a lot of use cases that we can use those technologies for, and then AI is here to stay. But we want to make sure we use the AI term relatively cautionally. We can't use AI for claims processing, auth approval denial, but where we can use is the augmenting resources for our team employees to perform in an efficient manner, supporting them with the data need, right? Like the chat box in the encounters management to an ADS monitoring. That's a really nice feature.
I love that. A lot of these technology initiatives, along with the mandates and the things that you're working on, are trying to bring the payer and the provider closer together, because I think that is really imperative to making healthcare better for all. Thank you so much.
Sure.
I appreciate it.